Hey, what up, hooch bags? Jake Lance here, part of COVID crew number 2. Oh, got my sign here. We are going to be doing a cigar review. Today we are reviewing the Perdomo Habano Bourbon Barrel Age Sungrown in Churchhill. If you've never seen one of these, I love this band. I'll tell you right now, I probably choose this particular cigar straight off the band. First time I ever saw it, I went, holy crap, that's beautiful. What is that? That color's great. Let's see what it is. Now, 7x54, okay, sun-grown wrapper. It's a Nicaraguan Puro. It's a Nicaraguan wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler. If you haven't had one of these Perdomos, one of the cool things about it is Perdomo takes the tobacco and ages it for, I believe it's 6 years. Then they take that same tobacco and they age it another 10 months in bourbon barrels. So this cigar right here that I'm about to smoke has been aged. Its tobacco was picked and cut in 2013. Think about that. I think that's kind of cool. So with that said, let's get started with cutting. All right. First draw on this thing, I'm getting some sweetness. There's a little bit of sweetness, but the thing that I like about these is there's a little bit of bite. There's a little bit of pepper, and you can feel it on your tongue. So I have an Oliva lighter here that I won on either Cigar International or one of those Facebook things, and it's not my favorite lighter. It's a single torch, and I don't really feel like it puts out enough flame and enough oomph, really. But for whatever reason, I lost my other one, so I had to kind of use it. But it has a punch on it, so we went with a punch today. That's the thing here. And right away you can taste the pepper on this thing, and that's what I really like about sun-grown cigars, is that they have that bite. They have that little bit of pepper, not the black pepper, not that overwhelming one, but more of like a little bit of a cayenne, just a little bit of a bite to it, and that's what I really like about these things. So we'll get started here on the little bit of this, and we'll come back here and let you know what's going on. Hey guys, we're about 15 minutes into this cigar so far. As you can see, ash still holding on. It's burning about kind of how most of the Perdomos burn. It's not burning razor sharp. It's not stacking dimes, as they would say, but I'm not going to have to relight it. I'm not going to have to touch it up by any means. It's a little uneven, and that easily could be attributed to the fact that it wasn't the greatest light on my part. So, I'm not knocking it at any point right there. So far with this thing, it's not putting out a ton of smoke, and that's probably my biggest complaint with any of the Perdomos, is that they don't put out a lot of smoke. I always, if you're smoking a cigar or anything else, I kind of want more smoke. You smoke those Drew Estates, and those things are chimneys. I mean, they pour smoke between every 5 minutes, for 5 minutes after you smoke it, and this one doesn't. This one certainly is not that just cloud, that vape cloud of smoke that you see sometimes. As far as taste, it's got a little bit of sweetness. It's a little bit in there. I don't want to be one of those pretentious people and start naming off things like Colombian cane sugar or anything like that. But there's a little bit of sweetness in there. That spiciness that you first got isn't there anymore, and I'm kind of sad about that, because I really like that spice. I like that tingle, on that. It's definitely more of an earthy, medium cigar. It's certainly not that, it's not a dessert cigar by any means. It's not one of those LFD 50 TAA cigars where it's like a chocolate bar or anything like that. But and it also could be what we're pairing this with. Now, right now, I'm drinking some Woodford Reserve bourbon Neat, no ice, no nothing, just straight, kind of sitting out here. Um, so far it's going well. I like it. You know, this is probably one of my favorite mass production cigars. I think Perdomo does a great job with their cigars overall. One thing that I just found out that I think is really interesting is Perdomo freezes their tobacco at minus 40 something degrees. And what that does is it kills the beetles. You know, if you've never had it, tobacco beetles, it can emerge and start drilling into your cigars. And then you got to worry about, oh crap, are they going to ruin my whole stash? Perdomo, according to Nick at least, they freeze it and therefore they kill the beetles. And you could technically unwrap this cigar, leave them in your humidor unwrapped, and you wouldn't have to worry about it because they are not going to hatch beetles. So I thought that was kind of cool. Hey guys, we're back now. It's about 50 minutes into this cigar. It's about 5:30 here. We're solidly into the second third. Not a lot of transitions, which is what I like personally with the cigar. I figure whatever I start with, that's what I want to get. I don't like cigars that, oh, hey, I got chocolate and caramel and it was sweet through the first little bit, and then all of a sudden it turned into something else. Like, that's not me. I don't drink whiskey so that the first sip is good and the next sip is something different. I don't want that. So it's one great thing about this cigar right here is that it has stayed consistent. I will say the pepper, the spice came back a little bit, which is nice because that's what I really like. It slowed down tremendously. You know, the first, and I feel like you get that a lot with Perdomos. The first 15 minutes or so, you're like, holy crap, this thing's going to be done in half an hour, and then it slows down. You know, it kind of you're able to light it and walk away, get one or two puffs, and come back to it, and it's still smoking. It's actually putting out a little bit more smoke, which is great because, as I said, that's what I want out of a cigar. Um, you know, I know what I'm going to get from this thing. I've had this particular cigar multiple times. It's probably my personal favorite. Um, and when it comes to it, I personally think that Sungrowns don't get reviewed or enough love. Everyone really likes either Connecticut's because they're kind of mild. You know, you get that cream and that smoothness that comes from the shade Connecticut shade wrappers, or you're like David, who likes the punch of the Maduros, you know, really likes those really bold flavors. And the Sungrown's kind of in the middle there. You get a lot of spice, you get good flavors, but you don't get that punch in the mouth. The one thing I will say that I've had with Sungrowns before is that they tend to be a little more fragile of a wrapper. You kind of have to be careful with them. Can't say I've seen it a lot with Perdomo Sungrowns, but I've seen it with other Sungrowns like the Undercrown Sungrown, and some other ones where, you know, you take it out of the humidor and all of a sudden that thing cracks on you, or you go to cut the cap and it splits the wrapper. Um, this one I punched, you know, as I showed you before, and it's held up great. Uh, so far, you know, this is exactly what I needed. Family and I, we gardened yesterday. We put all new mulch down, put all new flowers in, you know, redid all the garden beds, and I dug up around our mailbox. I took out all the sod, and because of where we live and because we just built, it was completely rocked. You know, it's right there by the driveway, so the gravel extends 6 inches past the driveway, and by the time I got done at 6:30 yesterday, I got the kids pizza, fed them, and literally told them, please take your iPads, go upstairs, and passed out on the couch for 45 minutes. I was out. I couldn't even move. My body hurt so much. And then today we took the dogs out to the trail and walked for 3.5 miles. And if you have an 8-year-old, can someone tell me how in the world they can ask questions so much? I learned so much about Fortnite that I now have a favorite skin. I know what season that I would start in, and I didn't even know anything about Fortnite before we started. I still don't know what a skin is. I still don't know what the heck I was being asked, but by God, I got asked so many questions that my brain just turned to mush. So getting a cigar, and especially getting a nice long cigar, has been a real treat. As of right now, we're, like I said, about 50 minutes in. We're about halfway through the cigar. Haven't gotten quite to the band yet. I know for me, I'm probably going to get, probably about maybe halfway to the band and this thing's going to be done. I'm not one of those who likes when cigars get really hot. The taste of hot tobacco really turns me off. It's not something I want. To me, that's, I can go put my face over a fire, put my face over the stove, get the same thing. It's not what I want. So far, this is a great cigar. It's one that, like I said, it's about a medium, not a full-bodied cigar, not really going to punch you in the mouth or anything, but right now, mid 70s. I got some bourbon. Peace and quiet. I got the phone set up. I'm watching Real Steel with Hugh Jackman, which is an awful movie, but I love it because how can you not like a robot boxing movie? And I'm enjoying everything about it. So far so good, and we'll come back in the last little bit and see what's going on. Hey, what up, guys? So we're here at the end. It's 6:30 now, so I've been smoking this thing for almost 2 hours, which is fantastic for a Churchill. Had a little bit of burn issue here at the end. We're definitely down here in the final third. I was actually on a V-Herf with John and Anthony, and just got off. So, overall, flavors on this thing are, there's a little bit of leather. There was a little bit of, slight coffee if you want to get into that, maybe some of that stuff. But like I said, I like these most because you get that pepper, you get that little bit of cayenne heat that comes with them. And overall, this is probably my favorite cigar. It's a medium body thing, not too heavy. It was perfect for today. It was mid 70s here today, and got, with this Churchill, like I said, got 2 hours in, which gave me enough time to kind of relax and chill out for the day. So overall, this has been a fantastic cigar. It's one that I would recommend highly if you're not into the getting punched in the mouth, getting punched in the face, but you just want something that's going to perform the way you want it to perform. It's not going to have a lot of transitions. It's not going to have a lot of different flavors. What you get at the beginning is what you're going to get throughout the cigar. And Perdomo does a great job of everything's, top notch, especially on these Habano ones. So there you go.